All right, so we're diving deep today into a world that some people might find, well, a little dry.
Budgets.
Yeah, budgets. Lots of numbers, lots of jargon.
But actually, there are stories hidden in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Real human stories, and that's what we're going to do today.
Exactly. So we've got the Tamil Nadu state budget, freshly presented by Finance Minister Thengam Thanarasu.
And this is more than just a spreadsheet.
Oh, yeah.
This is about priorities, it's about vision. It even tells you a little something about the relationship between the state and the central government.
It's like reading between the lines.
Exactly.
So we're going to unpack all of that. We'll look at housing, education, how about transportation?
Infrastructure, social welfare, don't forget healthcare. We're covering it all.
We're hitting the big stuff. So for anyone listening, if you want to understand what's happening in Tamil Nadu right now, this is your shortcut. No need to wade through pages and pages of documents.
We've done the heavy lifting for you.
Let's start with something everyone understands. A roof over your head. The budget has a whopping 3,500 crore allocated to a scheme called the Kalaignar Kanavu Illam.
1 lakh new houses.
That's huge. 1 lakh. You really start to think about the scale of need this is trying to address.
Right. When you see numbers like that for housing, it tells you they're serious about tackling this issue. It's not just about bricks and mortar. Think about the impact on families. Health, education, all those things can get a boost when people have a safe and stable place to live.
And it's not just building new stuff. They're also putting 600 crore towards fixing up existing houses that are, well, basically falling apart. Another 25,000 homes there. So it seems they're thinking about both the present and the future.
Yeah, it's a two-pronged approach. You can't just build new and ignore what's already there. It's about raising the overall standard of living for everyone, making sure people are living in decent conditions.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Education. This is always a hot topic, and it seems there's still some, shall we say, tension between the state and the central government over the national education policy. That three-language formula is still a sticking point.
Yeah, this isn't a new debate. Tamil Nadu has been pretty clear about its preference for Tamil and English, bilingual. They seem to be concerned about Hindi being imposed and potentially putting their students at a disadvantage.
It's about identity, isn't it?
Absolutely. Language and culture are deeply intertwined.
And this disagreement might be having some real consequences. Word on the street is the union government is holding back over 2,152 crore, apparently because the state hasn't fully adopted the NEP.
It does make you think about the power dynamics at play. You have the central government using funding as a lever to try and influence state policy. It raises all sorts of questions about autonomy.
But Tamil Nadu seems to be holding their ground. The finance minister was very clear that teacher salaries and all the essential education expenses are covered. That's a message, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. It's like they're saying, we're sticking to our guns. We're not going to back down from what we believe is best for our state, even if it means navigating some tricky financial waters.
Speaking of navigating, let's talk about getting around. The Vidiyal scheme. Free bus travel for women. The numbers here are just remarkable.
A jump in ridership from 40% to 65%.
Think about that. That means more women are able to access jobs, education, healthcare, all because they can get on a bus without having to pay.
It's about freedom, right? Freedom of movement. And when you give people that freedom, it opens up so many possibilities.
50 lakh women using this service every day. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
When you consider the average woman is saving about 888 a month, that's a lot of money that can go towards other things. It's not just convenient, it's making a real difference in their lives.
Exactly. It's putting money back in their pockets, money they can use for food, for their kids, for whatever they need.
And the government is committed. 3,600 crore allocated to keep this scheme going. That's a long-term investment in the well-being of women.
And in the state's economy, when women have more financial freedom, everyone benefits.
So let's get down to brass tacks now. Infrastructure. The nuts and bolts. The Chief Minister's Rural Roads Development Scheme is getting 2,200 crore. And that's important, right? Good roads connect people.
Especially in rural areas, it can be the difference between accessing markets, getting goods to where they need to go. It's about connecting communities and boosting local economies.
Then we've got something called sponge parks in Chennai. 88 crores for these. I'm curious, what exactly are sponge parks?
Basically, they're green spaces designed to soak up rainwater, like a sponge. Helps prevent flooding, which is a growing problem in cities.
Seems pretty smart.
Yeah, it's a pretty innovative way to use nature to solve a problem. Yeah. And they also help replenish groundwater and just make the city a little bit greener.
And for women who are working, they're expanding the Tazi hostels, adding 10 more for 77 crore.
Safe, affordable housing can be a real game changer for women who've moved for work. It gives them a sense of security and allows them to focus on their jobs.
And then there's the gig workers. They're getting some love too. A 20,000 grant for 2,000 workers to buy two-wheelers.
Yeah, transportation is key for gig workers. It's how they get to their customers, how they earn their living. So this will help them get around more easily and efficiently.
Healthcare is always important. 120 crore to upgrade the Anna Cancer Hospital in Kanchipuram.
Investing in specialized healthcare facilities is essential. It ensures that people have access to the best possible care when they need it most.
And thinking about the future, the Chief Minister's breakfast scheme is getting a boost. 600 crore allocated. That's all about making sure kids are getting a nutritious start to their day.
Food and education go hand in hand. A well-fed child is more likely to learn and thrive.
And last but certainly not least, the Kalaignar Kanavu Illam. $1,000 a month to eligible women. This is getting a huge chunk of the budget. 13,807 crore.
Direct cash transfers can be incredibly empowering, especially for women. It gives them a sense of financial independence and can have a ripple effect on their families.
They're also opening up applications for those who haven't signed up yet, so that's good news.
Definitely. It means more women can potentially benefit from this program.
And a quick update on the new airport planned for Parandur. Sounds like things are moving forward there. That's a huge project for the state.
Infrastructure projects like this are vital for long-term growth. It's about connectivity, it's about attracting investment, it's a statement of ambition.
So big picture time, what are the main takeaways from this budget?
Well, it's pretty clear they're focused on social welfare, direct support for the people who need it most. Women, children, those living in poverty, that's a big theme.
And the infrastructure investments. It seems like they're trying to build for the future. Not just roads and buildings, but also things like those sponge parks. Innovative solutions to modern problems.
Yeah, and let's not forget that underlying tension with the central government. The education policy debate is a prime example. It's a reminder that state budgets aren't just about numbers, they're also about navigating complex political landscapes.
The Vidiyal scheme, that's already having a huge impact. And those housing initiatives, they have the potential to really change lives.
When you look at the scale of these programs, it's clear they're aiming for significant societal change. It's about addressing inequality and creating opportunities for everyone.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it really strikes me that state budgets are a delicate balancing act.
They are. You have immediate needs, long-term goals, and then that whole relationship with the central government to manage.
It makes you wonder how different states prioritize things. What are their values? What's their vision for the future?
Exactly. It's not just about allocating money, it's about making choices. And those choices reveal a lot about what a state considers important.
What stood out to you the most in this budget?
For me, it was that unwavering focus on social well-being. Even with the potential pushback from the central government, they seem determined to invest in their people.
It's interesting, isn't it, how some states are willing to really push the boundaries, even if it means some friction.
It makes you think about the long game. Are they playing it right? Only time will tell.
It's certainly food for thought, and it makes you wonder about the long-term impact of these decisions. Will they achieve what they set out to do?
That's a question for another deep dive, perhaps.
Exactly. But for now, we've given everyone a glimpse into the heart of Tamil Nadu, what they value, what they're striving for. And that's what makes budget season so fascinating.
It's a window into the soul of a state.
I like that. A window into the soul. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder all of this.
Until next time.
See ya.